Hello everyone, and good evening. I want to confirm if you can hear me. I think I've waited enough for people to join. We have 22 people there, so let's just kick start. I want to confirm if you
No,
can hear me,
I
please.
can hear you. I can hear you.
I hear you. I can hear you.
Great.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. I can't seem to hear the instructor. Hello? I'm not the only one. Am I the only one?
You're not the
No,
only
you
one.
are not. You are not the only one.
I was muted. Sorry. Actually, I was. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
we can.
muted. And I would also want to confirm if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, great. Let me just adjust this. So this is what we want to build today. This is what we want to build today. And this design was gotten from frontend mentor.io. So this is what we want to build today, and from frontend mentor.io. So this is just the design snippets and all. So those that joined the previous class, you would know how we actually do it. That one of the first things that we always do is we try to draw whatever I want to build first. We draw it out before we start building. So that's like flowchart. I use flowchart.io. You can actually use any diagram so that we can actually know what we want to do and how we're actually building it. Also, please ignore the fact that what is it called? There's more spacing to this side, and yeah, the initial design was not was on a smaller screen, and the design now actually supposed to take up this distance, so this would actually be corrected. So this flowchart.io. Okay, inside later. So one of the first things we want to do, this does not have any header or navigation, it's just straight to the point. And one thing that I want to do first is one, there's actually a box here, and the box is having another box. So inside that box, there's now another box here. So that's like the first box. The first box. Then inside this box, let me drag it down a bit.
Hi, Toby. Sorry, which platform is this?
This flow chat.io.
Oh, flowchart. Okay. Flowchart.io. Okay.
Then you have this other box in here, imaginary. So I'll just add another box here, which is at this header part. Then inside of this, there is a text. there is a text, the first text. There is also another, oh, sorry. Why is it not moving up? There's a text. There is another text here, just as it is on this design. Okay, there's an icon here also, so it's an image. Oh, sorry. There is an image. So this is actually an image. Then there is a text here. Then going back, there's another text there. So Control C, Control, okay. There's another text there. Then there is two buttons, which is like here and there. So one of the things that you tell people that before you start designing, before you even start saying you want to develop your code, try to draw it out as a beginner. It helps you in a way that you already know what you need. So if I go back to my Figma, if I go back to my VS Code now, let me just enlarge this also. If I go back to my VS Code now, I can know that, okay, I'm going to use a main. That's the first, what's it called? Box. Then in it, I know that I have a section here. This is a section. So I can say section.
Please, can you zoom in? Thank you.
I thought I could use a bigger screen. Is this better?
Yeah.
Okay, great. There's a section. Then inside that section, there is an image. So it simply means I would have an IMG. Inside the IMG, there's a text. So the text is actually an H1 text. Inside of that, there's actually the P tag next after the other one. There's a P tag. Then there is another box here from the design. There's another box here. So there's a box actually before the other box. So there's a box here. Forgot to put that one. So, sorry. So in this, there is a box and there is a box. Oh, I don't know why it's not showing. Oh,
Try control, then the code.
okay, yeah. It's not still showing. So let's just ignore that part and just leave it. So there's actually a box here, which simply means I'll go back here and put a div.
Hi, Toby, I can't see your screen. No.
Oh, are you doing? Huh?
No, like two tap.
You can see what you say.
Help us to zoom in. We can't see the code.
Okay. How about now?
Not yet.
How about now?
It's the same thing.
You can't see
The
the
thing is
code.
just
Me, I can't even see your screen.
Okay,
your
no.
screen is too
But I
far.
can see you. Maybe you people should disconnect and rejoin again. But I can see his screen very well.
Okay.
I can
I
see
use
the
your
screen.
contribute. I use your contribute. It looks so small. It's clear my own.
Is it very clear on you guys own?
Yeah, it's
It's
very
clear
clear.
on my own, no. It's clear on my own.
Yeah, it's very clear.
I think I just need to join back.
Okay, please do that. So there's a div here, then there's a button and a button. So that's two buttons. Then I can just copy this and paste. Great. So I've gotten my first layout of this. So the first one is actually a logo, which is actually a C. So I need to go and trace that. Then I'll say /image/ logo. Is it logo Google? I think it's logo Google. Let me check this. Logo.svg. So let me see. Let me open this on live server. Before I do that, let me just cancel all of this text. Let me hide them so that it does not distract us. So let's see, that's the C. Okay, yes, that's the C. Then the next part is actually the H1 tag. So what I'll just do is I'll just copy what I have here. I'll cut it. Then I'll just place here. To the comments. Okay. So then the next part is actually to copy this one and go and replace where it's supposed to be. And that's the P part. Then the button, I have this Mac OS. Yeah. And I have this also. Yeah. Then I save. Let me check. Is everything there? Good. Everything is there. The logo should also show. But one other thing that I also notice is that this is actually going to refresh. No, sorry. Okay. So I just have to show it from the image from where that's in design. That has actually refreshed. So design, desktop design. So now you can see that all my texts are aligned to the center. So for me to be able to do this, it will be very easy for me if I can just come to my design. That's my style.css, which is this. I need to target the first section. I can give it a class of, let's say, first underscore section. Then I copy this, I Ctrl X, come back to my style. Then I do dot style. Then now I can actually say, give it a display flex. Display flex. But this flex will not work very well. If I show you display flex, and everything will be at the side, which is not what I would want. So let me refresh. Okay, I've not linked my this thing. So let me link it first, my HTML. So to do that, I'll just do link style CSS. So this is it. Yeah. So you see that everything will just move in a way. See the way they look. So to make it in a better way, all I just need to do is come to my style.css, use the flex direction. Defaultly, flex display flex is always on row. So use my flex direction column to make it come this way. So you can see now is this way, but now the image is big. So for me to actually affect the image, what I first of all need to say, let me just do an image img max width 100%, which is not, then I would say let me see something first. Okay, great. Then I can come back here. Let me give before I actually fix the image, let me just make everything in the center. So to do that, I'll just use what's it called? Align items center. That has actually brought all my things back to the center. And this is it. So equally, I've been able to kind of achieve the first part. Now what is left for me is to style it. And to style this, one of the things I would need to do is first, I'll need to get this color. And in my style.css, style guard rather, I should have that color. Should have them give me that color. No, yeah. Trying to get this color, dark grayish blue. This it's strong crayon. Okay, let me just go back to my style. So let me just style my H1, comma H2, because I'll be using all of these tags, and let me say H3. Then let me say a color of let me first of all try to copy all of this and see which of them it is. So copy this. And let me save and see. No, this is not it. Dark grayish blue. So let me see this. Let me see this. And paste. Yeah, I think this is it. Great. So I've added this. This is what I need. Then I have to go back also to check my design. Let me just open this. Let me open this down. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is it. One other thing that you would see is that the font family, the font size, everything is not actually the same thing. It's not like the way it is on the design. So it's always very good to set all those properties most so that you know how to fit your fonts and all. So what I'll just do is let me check this out. This link, then I want to get the font property the way it is set. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so get fonts. Then yeah, so then I will just copy all of this, take it back to my coding. They always put this at the top of your code, so you have it here. Then I move down. This actually let me check how it is called. So it's called this way. So in my style.css, since this is the font, let me confirm. This is the font that was used everywhere. So it's just best I just set it to in the body. Instead of going to set it in every what is it called? So that it just takes it automatically. So body, now let's go back to our code and see what we have. Yes, so the font has been applied. If you look at it okay, yeah, let me check. Yeah, the font has been applied, if you can see. The font that they actually used on the design has been applied. So now what is left is to give your H1, the H1 that you're actually using, give it a weight so that it actually looks okay, just the way this is. And under what I actually always like doing, I love using inspect so much so that I don't just go and start guessing. So I would always advise you also, one of the best way as a front-end person is knowing how to use your inspect elements. Knowing how to use your inspect elements will help you a lot. Okay, sorry. So let me inspect. And let me have the font, sorry, font size. Oh, sorry. Font size. I can say 40 pixel. Then I can, okay, 40 pixel looks okay. 40 pixel looks okay. So let me put this back and see. Yeah, 40 pixel should look okay on it with that design. So I can come back here, call my H1. Since I knew that I want to use one generic H1 and just give it a 40 pixel. Sorry, font size 40 pixel, which should take what we have there. The next thing I would want to actually target is this clipboard. So going back to my design, I can see, okay, the clipboard is not even having it's having another kind of color, but this is actually looking like a 16. So, and that's actually a P tag. So I can just call my P and say font size 16 pixel. Now, when you want to use all these font size, it's best to use them. You want to call your tags to use the font size or maybe style it. Ensure that you know that every of your H1 and every of your P tag are the same thing. If you don't do it that way, if you start calling your P tag and you have another style, your P is actually big somewhere else, then it will be an issue unless you want to add a class to it. So that is always advisable that it's only when your design, you know, your P are uniform, your H1 is also uniform. So it's always advisable to do it this way. So I've gotten this to be like this, but the color is not this way. So let me just change the color of the P. But before I do that, let me confirm if the P tag has that color for all of them. Okay, I think yes, it's using that same color. So I think this is, let me check from the style guide. Let me know what that color is. Is it light blue or I think greenish blue? I think this should be it. But let me check first. Color. Yeah, I think this is it, correct. Then one thing that you would also notice in the design is that this text is more in the center. So, and it's not like the way this one is just this long. So one way to actually put this in the center is to give it a width. So I can go back to my P, but I can't just do that because if I do that to P, all my P's will take what I want to give it. So instead of doing that, I will just have to give my P a class because I want to add a width to it. Because if I don't do that, every of the P I have will take that width and you start seeing them to be very small or to take that constraint width. So I can just call this first section paragraph. First section paragraph. So that way, let me now copy this.
Yeah.
So first section paragraph, then I can say width of let's say 70%, actually 50%, but it should be skewed to the left. So let's see. And I told you skewed to the left. It's not like going to the center, even though we have that center stuff. So two ways of doing that. The first one is actually adding a margin auto, which should actually, okay, margin auto is not actually given, it's actually text. Text align center. That should actually bring it to the center. Then I can see that it's actually lesser than 50%, so I'll just give it a 40. But I need to confirm that because my screen is actually very large. So like I said, yeah, my screen is large. So the normal screen is actually 1440. So let me put this back to 100%, which is this. So I would see, I need to actually put it back to 50. Or 45. so that it can match up this design. And the design, yeah, is this way. Let me just inspect it from here. Let me do this. It's actually like it's 40. It's 40. That means my H1, my H1 is actually bigger. So this is 40, then I can reduce this to 35. Yeah, so that it can fit. But one other thing that you would notice in this is that if you go back to the design, you'll see that my H1 is having an unnecessary margin and padding. So if I try to go and inspect it, you can see it's having an unnecessary, what is it called? Let me check what it's giving. It's having an unnecessary margin. You can see that brown stuff, which I didn't even add. I did not add that margin. So every H1 and this thing used to have that margin. They have that top and bottom margin and padding. It's by default. That's what they give all the H1s. But now, in my design, I'm not to have that something that long, that big. So now one of the best ways for me to do that is reduce my bottom one. So I just want to use this one to just test to know what I need to fix. Put it. Margin bottom pixel. Let me see. Okay. 0. So I remove the padding, the margin at all. I remove the margin bottom 0. I should actually remove the entire margin. Because at the top, let me see what I have at the top. Okay, I have to put, yeah, I have to add more margin at the top. So margin bottom should actually be 0. So my H1, margin bottom should be 0. Then I should add more to my margin top. Margin top, because now from the design, we could see it very well. It has more spacing to the top. And to add spacing to the top, you either use margin or padding. And I know that in one of our first class, one even when I taught, I spoke about when to use margin and when to use padding and all. Use margin for box to shift a box, to use padding to actually give more space to a box. So I'll just add margin to this. So I can just give it a margin. Let me just test it from here. Margin top of 20 pixel and see. Okay, 20 would not work. So let me increase it and give it a 65. Yeah, let me give it a 65. So margin top of 65. Now, there's going to be an issue here because there are still other places that I'm using an H1 tag. Or is there no other place? Yes, there's another place I'm using an H1 tag. Okay, all of them actually have that margin top. Instead of fixing it, okay, it means I can still use it. So I need to check first. If the margin will actually disturb it for those places that I think there is an H1 tag. Or that's the only H1 tag. Okay, that's the only H1 tag. So even though I add margin to the H1, it does not have an issue. But if I'm adding it for other ones, if the other H1 tag, this would affect them. So it's advisable that if you want to style and the other one, just use a class. So what I'm trying to avoid now is I'm avoiding putting class everywhere in my what is it called, my design. So that's what I'm trying to avoid here. So this has been done, but I still need that. Before that, so let me start the button. Let me remove this front end stuff that is asking me to put my name. So to style the button, I would have to put classes for them. So class, let me say iOS, another class. The other class, I can give it a Mac. Oh, what's happening? Mac. So good. Now I need to style this, my button. So one of the ways I can style this is by coming down here. Then I can say .ios first. To do that, let me check for the color for the button. One is actually, I think one is blue. So that is light blue, and yeah, it should be one of these two. So to actually do the first one, let me see. Going back to the button design. I think this is a crayon, then this is a light blue. Yeah. So on the style, the first one that is the iOS is the crayon. So I would say first I'll give it a background color. Then let me copy this thing. Let me copy this. Yeah. Paste here. Then while this is still here, I would want to add a padding to it. Padding of, let's say, let me just give it a 20 pixel right now. And let's see. Okay, this is 20 pixel, but in the design, let's study the design again. No, it's more than 20 pixel, or let me see. It's more than 20 pixel. Okay, but let's just give it a border, what is it called first? So let me give it a border radius. Border radius of, let's say, 20 pixel also to see. So it has to be more than that. So let me just inspect instead. So let me just use my inspect to actually cover the border radius till I get it right. So with 30 pixel, that should be fine. 30 pixel should be fine. Then my button, let me remove this inspect for now. On this my button, you could see defaultly on buttons you should have a pointer that could say this is actually a button. So I know that a lot of people actually miss that in one of the assignments that we did now. So that's why I'm just going to do this. So to do that, you actually just use your cursor. There's something they call cursor pointer. This should actually change the effect to make everybody know that this is actually a button. So you can see the difference. The first one is not having it. The second one is actually having a hand stop that is like it's a button. Then I also need to remove this outline border. So I would say border none. This should remove this black box, this black thing that you can see. So if I say border none, and let's see, yeah, it has removed it. But still on still, my padding is not still okay. So let me do something. Let me use it's actually one rem. I'll just check something out. Then I would say this one should be, let's say, 2 rem. I'm going to change back to pixel, but I don't check something. Okay, great. So I would have to put this one back to, but I don't want us to use rem because rem means relative. What is it called? I think relative is actually relative to the screen. I've forgotten the full name, but it's relative to something. So let me say this should actually be 24 pixel. This is like 48 pixel. And let's see. Still big. So this is actually not up to 24. So let's say 18. And this is actually 38. Okay, great. I think we've gotten how the box actually looks a bit, if not very much like it. But if you could also go back to the desktop design, you would also notice that there is something like a box shadow underneath. So I need to add a box shadow to it. And to do that, one thing I will just do is I need to copy it from somewhere. So Control V. Great. So box shadow. So there's actually a little box shadow, if you could see. There's very little box shadow on it now. But to actually make it more clear, because you can see from the design also, there's more things to the bottom of it. Other than that, like there's like I see there's actually what is it called, border below it. So let me just add that also. Then I can say border bottom 0 pixel solid ash. I don't know the color, so let me just say gray. Let me say gray. Let's see. It's actually light. It should be light gray. So let me just change this to make it fade, like not just so grayish. Let me leave it like this to see. Okay, great. So I've gotten almost that kind of effect underneath, although the gray is not gray yet. It's not gray. Okay, I think this is now better. This is now better. So then I would also want to do the same to this, but I know that the difference between both of them is just the color. The other thing is actually the same thing. So what I'll just do is, instead of me going to restyle, I'll come here, copy this, then just call this one mark. Then change the color. So that's one act. Instead of you redesigning your stuff, make a design, then change the things that you know that you need to change from it. Coming back here, just changing this should actually make me fix all of that. And now I've been able to do this, but the text color, the color inside is actually white. So which is triple F or 6F, either one. So I don't know if this one is also white. Let me check. It should actually be white also. Yeah, it's also white. So I'll just copy this, paste there, then save and check. Great. So I've added that on this. But one other thing you would notice coming back here is the spacing between these two stuff, like that spacing. So one other fix to actually do that is come here. Is either you want to put a padding, maybe use padding to actually shift it, which is not always very advisable, but sometimes you don't have a choice and just put that easy fix for it. So I can just come here, let me just do margin on the first one and just give it a margin right. Margin right of, let's say 10 pixel, check it, 15. Okay, good. So this is this. Automatically, we are almost done with the header. I don't want to spend much time because we still have a lot of things to do and things to cover. So I'll just add more spacing to this. But to be able to do this, I have two ways. Either I use my P tag to target it down, or I use the div to target this. But let me check out. Sorry. Okay, so I can see that my P always have something below them. So I'm fine if I add a margin to my P. So I've seen my design, so I'm fine if I do that. So I can just go back and find my P, the P that is here, and just give it a uniform margin bottom. of, let's say, 20 pixel. Oh, the keyboard is misbehaving. So let me just inspect and see. I think that 20 pixel is not enough, or it has not affected. Okay, so let me just increase it from here manually. 45 is actually okay. So I can change this to 45. Save. Then the next thing I would also want to do now is, now we're almost done with this part, but there's something here you could see. There's something here, which is actually a target from an image. So to actually do that, all I need to do is target my section, because this is what is actually handling it. Did I say my section? Sorry, target the main for this, or even the section. So target the section. To do that, I'll just come to style. I called it first section. Then I can say I'll give it a background URL, background image, and say URL images slash desktop header. Let me save and let's preview. So we have this now. What is repeated, you can see there's a repeat stuff on it. So one of the ways to remove stuff from not repeating is there's a property called background repeat. You can put no repeat, which should remove. Let me show you first. You can see that there's one small this thing here, even as it is here, so that you know what I'm trying to remove. So if I do this, if I should save this, you see that thing will automatically go. Now it has gone. Now it has gone. And good, I've been able to get that part of what I want to even get at the top. So
no.
you did not say anything. Okay, let me control Z. Let me control Z it so that you see it. Oh no, let me just. Okay, now see this stuff. Can you see this? There's something here. There's another kind of image here.
Yes, I've seen it there, that place. Yes.
Yeah. But once I add background repeat, no repeat, because it's actually trying to repeat that image for me. That would remove it, and it told me that no, I don't want to repeat that background. Just show it the way it is and let it be there. Take your accumulated space that you can take. There are also other properties of background. There's background, what is it called? Background position. There is also background size. There's background visibility. One best way to know all of this is try them out. And when I say try them out, one of the best places to try stuff out is your inspect. If you are a learner, one of the best places to try your stuff out is here. So if I do this, if I scroll down, I can see different things. You can see it's showing different things to that text. It's showing different things. So okay, then let me use it on this. Let me use it on what has a background. So let me say this first section. So if I'm trying out background, you'll see different changes. You can see the image is shaking. The image is shaking. At some point, you can even give it another color. See, current color. So this is one of the best places to try out to know what this one works for, how they work. Chrome Inspector is actually very, 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 very good for front-end people to inspect whatever you are doing. Easy act to fix whatever issue you have in, be it from, what is it called, your front size or whatsoever. So good, we've been able to do this, but now we need to add more spacing above this. And what we need to just do is this. You can either target this C, or we just come down to this section and say padding top, and let's say 100 pixel. Automatically to bring my stuff down. So it's giving it the padding top and say give it spaces to the top and just leave the down part. So I can even, let me increase it to 120 so that it's better. So 120, good. Then let me just say we've achieved our first aim, which is this. We've been able to do this completely, which is good. So the next thing is just to come here. But one good thing about this stuff is if you have styled your stuff from the beginning, while repetitive stuff is very good, and to style stuff once and for all is good, is let me show you how and how I can do that. So coming back here, I can pick this entire section, Control C, Control V. Then I can come here, keep track of your snippet. I cut it, I bring it down to this history. But then I change this to actually H2, then the text, this clipboard board stuff. I cut it, then I bring it here, then I paste, then I also remove this div for the button. If I save this, you see what will happen. This is refreshing. Okay, sorry, I didn't remove the background, so I need to remove this first section. I'll go and change. I remove this logo first. I don't need the logo. This first section, instead of first section, I can call it second section. Second section. Oh. Second section. Save. Then come in. Why I'm actually doing this is actually I just only need, because I don't want to do that background. I need just this dot. I need just from here down to this part. That's all I need. But because of that background that is there, I cannot use it. I don't want to use important. Now you can see this has been done. But good that I've actually used second section, which is actually this. So I can come back here and give it a margin top of 100 pixel, just so I can actually shift this thing up to have more spacing. Then I can say save. Great. But one thing I also noticed is that I can still see that there's an excessive padding margin on this my H2 that is here. One of the best way for me to do that easily is adding my H2, removing, okay, instead of putting the pad margin, what is it called? I can call my H2 in another place. H2, do this, give it margin bottom off, then also call a font size for all of it. So font dash size. That's to increase this font. So I can give it, this one is actually 35, then I should actually, this one should be lesser. So I can say 25 pixel. Save, let's see. So this 25 pixel is not still at it yet. So I'll just do this and increase. So I can give it a 30 actually. 30 looks okay. 30 looks okay on it. Oh, 30 is actually much. What did you take? Oh, I gave it 35, sorry. So good. Automatically, with this, I can say we have done this next section. Automatically, we've done this next section, as you could see. Then the next part that we want to talk is now this part, which is what I know that, okay, as a beginner, it might look challenging. Okay, how is this image not going to the way? Why is this one this way? Why is this one not having that space? Why is this on the background image also? No, it's not a background image. It's a normal image. So like I said, one of the things you will do, going back to your drawing board, you're having two sections here, one big box, and one box. So it simply means what you're having. You're having a box, then you're having another box here, But this other box is touching this one. It's touching it fully. But the second box is not. Second box is outside. Oh. Second box is like this. Then the second box now has one child, another box, another box, another box, which can even just say, no, you're not putting on that box. You leave it that way. So just one that box. You put what is it called? H3 tag, P tag, H3, P tag, H3, P tag, which is going to take this text. Yeah. So to achieve this, one thing you need to do is, as you've done that diagram, you know you are getting a div. Oh, sorry. Look at those two. Okay. No. I had a light disconnection now. So that was why. Sorry, apologies. If you can see my screen, please, I would like to get a feedback on that.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Huh?
So I know that what I need now is a div or a section. So just close out this. Sorry, please. Okay, great. So what I just need to actually add in this other part is actually a section. You can say section, then the first div, then the second div. My second div is having, okay, my first div is having an image inside of it from the diagram and from what you can see here. It's having an image inside of it. My second div is having a H3 tag and a paragraph. Two, that's like that. So you're having H3, then you also have a paragraph. Then you have it in two ways. That's three. That is two, then three. Great. So you've already done the layout already. Now you need to start fixing those contents. So the first one we call /images/image computer. That's the name. So then my H3, I would having quick search. This is the first one. Then I'm going to have this easy search as the next one. So you're just trying to draw out your layout first, fix up the content so that when you want to style, it becomes very easy for you. So instant sync, which is the next one. Then you have this, which is the second paragraph. Then you have the third H3 text, the implicit here. Then you have the content for it also. You place it to see. So defaultly, if I save this and I go and check what I have, I'll see that everything are just actually going to stack over each other. If you have to see this, once it finishes refreshing. So you can see it's stacking over each other, which is not what we want to achieve. I'm also noticing something. There's actually a, what is it called? Yeah, kind of margin padding generally. If you could see like over on the body, you would see it. On the body, you could see that there's actually a brown. Somebody can see it, let me know. You can see a brown stuff at the sides. When somebody just reply, you can actually see what I'm saying.
Yes.
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 Great. So the best way to actually remove that is go to the body element and just do, if it's not the body, there's another way you can actually do that. You'll see it majorly in a lot of codes. That's just your star, that is asterisk, or what's it called? Asterisk, then, oh, why is my system hanging? I think it's this or something. Is it that asterisk? I think I've actually missed this thing out.
It's asterisk.
But I actually
Yeah,
don't use it.
Why
Yes, sir.
why is it not turning yellow? It's
It's asterisk,
asterisk.
I
not
don't,
not
that's what I'm actually looking at. I know it's asterisk and I don't know why it's showing error. Shade error. So let me just I don't like seeing that red, but you see it's more in React and JS and all. So instead, let me just forget the body and just give it a margin 0 and padding 0. Padding 0. Save and let's see. That should actually remove that stuff. Yeah, it has removed it. So it's no more there. You can see it's no longer there. Now this is actually touching the left side. So now, as this thing that it is, I want somebody to suggest for me, how can I make this thing show beside this part? Let me see those that are following and those that have gone beyond, and also watch the last class that we did. What tag am I to use? I want this to actually be an interactive part. So what do I need to do to make this thing show side by side? That's the text move to this side and all.
Display flex.
Okay, great. So what am I going to display flex?
that's actually
What is it called? Space between.
No.
Or roll. Flex direction roll.
No.
It's already row. Usually you put display
The
flex. It's
section,
automatic.
the correct section is what you have to display flex on.
Okay, great. Thank you. So the fourth section I just added now, I just only need to add display flex. Automatically, code, that's your this thing is always automatically on roll. Your display flex property. Always add that property of roll in it. So it's an auto stop. So you're adding display flex, take that property of roll. So if I just do this and I go back here, I'll see. Now it's giving me that the vibe I want. But one other thing I also noticed that this thing is close to this stuff. And I know that if I do this, if I say, what is it called? Justify content, space between, it will give me spacing. But that's not what I want to do. Because even though it's giving me spacing, I still need this stuff to have, there's a space that this thing is missing. And if you could see it, it's missing one space. It's missing this space. So one of the best way I can actually do to achieve that is going back to my design, I need to add, that means I have this div that I did. I need to give it a class to say, let me just say quick search, quick section. Quick section. Then I need to say, I need to give it a width. And what that my width will do for me is going to reduce the content for me. Instead of me going, because I don't like, one thing that I don't like is actually adding margin and padding everywhere in my sites. I don't know if somebody also does not like adding all of that. Because one thing that padding and margin does for you is it scatters a lot of things along the line. Then you have to go and start restyling it, some things, and if you're not careful, you have overflow. 70%. Let's see. Now it's actually here. 70%. Then I just need to, let me see. Margin auto will not do justice to it. Margin auto won't do justice to move it to the center, which is not what I want. So let's see. Great.
Let's inspect it and see whether it will work. Like you not be coming back, going back and forth.
Okay, actually, that's true. But let me refresh this first. So this div quick section, this weight of 100. It was 70. Let me see what it's doing. Oh, sorry, the div. Okay, then let me do that, because what is actually happening now is I'm giving this one more privilege. That's the width, because it's actually on that div. So one of the easy fix for me to do that is wrap all of this div, this one, inside another div on its own. So all of this, I need to wrap them in another div to place so that I can be able to style very well. So if I save this, and I would see the effect of that 70% that was hiding itself. Now you can see that 70% I was hiding now is out. And what just changed that was just me adding a div inside this. And that's because I need to style this so that this would actually be taking 50%. But if I add that width to this, it's actually going to have an effect on this fourth section, because the fourth section is already displaying flex, which says this one is taking a 50%, then this also should take another 50%. So why it did not work initially is because I am actually styling this. I'm saying it's actually taking a 70%, then this is actually taking a 30%. So it's not actually doing it in a way that is saying this should actually have a space here or something. So I don't know if you understand what does happen there now.
No, I'm confused.
No. Okay. If you could see from the start, I was trying to get on this part. Let me do Ctrl Z. This was what we had. But I had a 70% on this stuff, this quick section. And now on the 70%, what it's just doing is it's adding, let's just refresh. It's adding more like, it's not giving this one a 70% space and giving this a 30% space. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
I understand you.
So now, for me to be able to style this differently, to say, no, don't give it a 70% space and this other one 70% space. What I need to do is I need to just add a div. Yeah. Then bring all this my section inside it, so that it refuses that rule of taking that. So it's now like saying this quick section is taking 70% of this 50%. Now, do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. So that's how we're able to get this part of it back.
So wait.
I have
So
a question.
Okay. Ask.
Well, initially you have a div there already, and
yes,
the other section, the other part of the section is also inside the div. Is it not separating them already?
It's not separating them. Now, this is how div works. Let me go back to my drawing board. Let me remove all of this. Now, if you display if you have a div, a parent div, you have two div. Let me just put this one. Let me make it equally. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Then you have this. Automatically, this is actually taking 50%. It's also taking 50% of the box. The entire box is an 100%. Do you get me?
Yes.
So now, if you are saying you want to style this one because of the content in it, I want to change the width, what it's going to do is that it's going to now say, you are saying this one is actually going to take 70%, automatically it's reducing this for you, and it's going to increase this for you.
Yes, I understand. My point is,
Understand?
why putting it in another div when it's already inside the div?
Putting it in another div is just like Control 6. Let me do this. It's just like saying I want to be able to style this div so that it just takes instead of this percent, just take this percentage of this percent.
Okay.
Because if I don't do that, it's going to, if I'm doing this one div, it will be taking this kind of shape, and it will not give us what we want. I don't know if that's a little bit clear.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, great. So going back, we've been able to do this, and let me say, kind of, we've achieved our next section. So we've achieved this next section, but something is still missing. You could see on our own, it's starting from the top, but on theirs, it's not starting from the top. I don't know if you could see that. Then there's also a spacing, small spacing here. One is having a larger spacing. So the effect is on first thing. Let me do that spacing part, which is on H3. So going back here, I can just copy this. Then give this H3, then change this one to, let's say, or I think the font size is even okay. So let me leave the font size alone. Let me just delete this. Now, H3, margin bottom 0. H3, margin bottom 0. So I think I should need to inspect. I think that my H3 is still having something in it. You're having a margin top. Okay, there's not having margin bottom again, but something's having a margin bottom there. So it's the P tag that is having that effect of padding top. The P tag is having a padding top top. So, well, let me just ignore that. Let me just ignore it. Let me focus on this next one that is down because of time. So to be able to move this thing to the center, I want somebody to tell me what element I'm going to use. So let me just give you an hint. What I need to target is this fourth section. So what will I need to do on this fourth section to make sure that my content
to center.
Align content.
Align item.
Align item to center.
Align
item to center.
Okay, I think, did I have another person that wants to say something? That wants to give me an answer?
What's the question, please?
Okay, I want to make this content to the center of this. Like, so that it starts from here, just the way the design is.
Okay. Is it
be align self?
Center. That is justify content center.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Jadisola. That's actually very correct. So it's justify content center. So that would actually justify happens to work with your this. I don't know if it's horizontal or vertical, but I don't know if I think you understand what I mean. So up straight like
horizontal. Justify content horizontal. Align item vertical.
Great. So just know that logic. So justify content center should bring it to the center for me. What's happening? Let me refresh. Does not brought it to the center. Let me see. Why is that?
You know, what you want to target is just only that your quick search part, right?
No, I think there is a confusion. If you say justify content is horizontal, I mean, that's what she said, right? I think there's a mix-up.
No, she's right. Justify content is horizontal. The align item is
what we are targeting is vertical. I think so.
Why is align items now the one working?
It's vertical now. What you are targeting is a vertical structure.
Okay, from top to bottom, Abi.
Yes.
That's it.
Oh, I thought it's from left to right.
Okay.
Sorry. Align item is actually working left to right here. And it's working at this point. Something's
When
actually
do you use that align self and align justify self?
align self.
Yes, and justify self. Because I was thinking it is self we are going to use in this one that we wanted to do. But it's align item that we'll use.
Align self. Let me remove just this one and just put the align self. Align self is not having any effect. And it's giving an error of what? So this, okay, align self actually works with display block. If this is actually display block, that's when that thing can be active, which is actually going to be down here, which is low. So align self works for display blocks, but what I'm working with is display flex. I think what I'm actually going to use is align item center, but defaultly it's actually supposed to be justify content. But there's something wrong somewhere. But align, what is it called, is actually taking it. So align items center, save, and now this is actually in the center as we want it to be. The one other thing that is still missing here, if you look at this part, is there's more spacing at the top other than the bottom. So what I need to do is just come to target my fourth section and just add something top to it. So let's just say margin top of 30 pixel. Okay, I think that's now fine. So the next section we want to do is this section. Good enough. Like that I said, once you've styled your stuff, you don't have an issue again. So what I can just do is I can come here, go back to the top, and say from this second section down to this part, that's what I need. I copy it. I come here and I paste. Then the H2, I change this. Then this next one, I pick this, change this. And now I've had this, which is the solution to this next one. The next thing I need to do is to add this image. So what I can do is come here, just call an image tag, then dot slash images. I think that should be image devices. And let's see. So good. That's just the flex of when you've done your initial styling. Style your property first at the beginning. I see that when you are pulling up your other content, it becomes very easy. And what helped us was having to give this proper styling, call this H1, give it in their style. That will reduce us to, I don't have to write plenty classes here. I can count the number of classes I have here. They're not like as much as how it should be. I would have been styling my H2, coming to come and style my image so that I can take stuff. What actually helped me on this image is this property. I added something, let me just show you. This display plus what's the song? Let me move this out. So is it display flex and I actually put my stuff? That's what is actually helping. And it's not giving it an anyhow stuff. So this, just this styling I've done here, as I've seen the design, and I know that it's not going to be repeated stuff. I can style my stuff, and it's going to be easy for me to do. So the next thing I want to do now is this section. Also, this section already has a kind of section already, unless this. What I'll just do is pick this again, paste it, then change the text that inside. And say, then the next one. Then good. I've gotten, then I should remove the image. I've gotten my next section this way to this part, but I'm having an unnecessary spacing here, which is as the result of my second section that is here. So instead of me doing that, one easy fix for me is to add a, let's say, third. Let me just put third. I also want to teach you how to override things. I want to ask a question. Let me see our in-depth of CSS. Okay. In CSS, so this is it. Is it a yes or no question? In CSS, if I put a p tag at the top of this place, and I put a font size of, let's say, 20 pixel, and I come down here, and I call the a p tag, and I say 100 pixel font size of 100 pixel. Which will the p tag actually take?
The very recent one.
Second one.
Which one?
20.
82.
The 22.
I'm choosing
The
82.
100.
Yes, 100. Yes, 100.
100.
20.
Mine 82.
100.
20.
100.
Yes, 100.
That's
Recent one.
That's actually 100.
What's
So
the
let me
correct
ask
one?
you what happens. What happens is in cascading style sheet, as I hear in cascading, it takes the most recent one, which is the down one, to style. So whenever you are styling a property, one of the best ways to override whatever is above, if you call the class on it, is pull the style down. If you know you can't locate it, just call that class, style it down, it will override whatever is above. So as you can see, I called 20 there, I called 20 there, and I called 100 there. If I come here, you see my text. You can see it's taking 100. The p tag, all the p tags are taking 100. It's ignored whatever thing that is up. Any p tag that is up is actually rubbish to it. And you could see it from
So-
here. The 100,
So what-
you cancel the 20. Yeah.
So what's the essence of important? Because on in the last class, you kind of reference using important when
Okay, why
you want
I
to.
actually use important? If I'm having same class and maybe I want to take, for example, now, if I'm to do media query, and I style something, and both of them are actually there, I can use important to override it, that anything I want to happen, just take this style. I don't want anything to come override it. So you see this P that is here, this P. If I put important here, if I save it, it's going to be the same. It will ignore that the last one is actually that P. So as you can see it, right? It ignores that 100 is still there. Because of that property of important, it's saying anywhere you see P, just don't ignore them. Just use this one. Don't mind other P's. Other P's are nothing. This is the one I wanted to use. So that's the function of important. Important is used to override anywhere you call it. Is to ignore it, but just use this one for that particular place. One that best way to override is also just call it down again. I don't know if that's clear. Can somebody give me a feedback if that's clear?
Yeah, it is.
And if that's not clear, can I get the feedback also? If it's not clear, can I get the feedback also?
It's clear. It's clear. It's clear.
Since what was saying is not clear, you can speak.
But what about if you have a P tag, and you have a class? That same, we have different. You already maybe you have styled your P to be
Yes.
20 pieces. Your that's all your P's should be 20 pieces. But you have another class, that maybe you want it to be 10 pieces.
Okay.
Do you get?
That's still on that P.
So, on that same P,
if you take the most recent, if it's a class or any how you call it, just take that most recent.
Okay.
So as this thing is like this class P paragraph stuff, like you see that when I call on that P of 100, it ignores that there's a class there. It just takes the most recent. That's why it's called cascading style sheet. Cascading, the most recent. Let's check what meaning of cascading is. You're also here to learn. So let me just do cascading. Cascade. No. And CSS. Refers to the logic of the browser, especially the conflict, which is the most important. Determine the CSS rule sets are the most important, especially if the conflict. One simple way is the browser applies in order of the rule set. That's to the order in which your rule set appears. So it takes it like the down part, the last one. It takes it as the last one. The hierarchy. You can see this arrow. So user inline media. So it takes the last one. That it works with any last call, any last command you give to it. That's what cascading and CSS actually do. Unlike maybe you call your JavaScript, that JavaScript does not take up that role. Wherever you call it, agreed, it takes sometimes most recent. The let, if you use let, it takes the most recent let and all. But you can still reference things that are bold. And you can repeat some things like, what is it called? Const stuff. But we've got to JavaScript and you know the difference between const length and var. So let's just leave that part and let's concentrate on this.
So, sorry, because I just want to get something clear. They were saying something about specificity. I don't know if you know, I don't, you will know it. I want to understand. From what you just said now, if for instance I have ID and I have class, they said that ID will have more specificity than class.
That's actually not. That's not true.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand, but I'm confused.
CSS does not what is it called, listing to whatever element you call it. What it is saying to is the last one is important.
Okay.
So even if I come here and I say ID of classes, let me just call it this way. And I come to the top here, to the top, and I come here and I say hash this, then I say font size of 100 pixel. If you ignore it, let me check. Oh wow. I'm gonna just learn this now. Let me refresh. Okay, I think ID is actually longer. Thank God okay. I just learned this now. For coding for over 4 years and I've not known this. So actually, ID is actually larger. It's actually more. Yeah.
Okay, that's ID took more. It will take ID than the P tag that you declared down, right?
Take more than P tag, take more than any other thing.
Okay, I get it now. Thank you.
Thanks also for making me learn that. I learned something from you. Thank you. Okay, so let's go back to what we're trying to build, and still on this first section that is having the second section actually. This one, no, this that's having a margin top of 100. So to actually override that, I can, as I've called the third in this part, something called top. Let me just remove this. Something called third. So I can just call margin of 0. So it will remove that margin that's at the top. So it's taking the last call of the class. So it's ignoring, even though you called it at the top and giving it 100. So it strikes the one that is above and use the last one. So this has been fixed. So the next thing that I would want to fix is now these boxes, this triple box. So to do this, one thing you can either do on this is use, what is it called? I can either call it a div. Okay, no, section actually. I'll be using section. So let me just use section. Section. Then, and I'm going to have 3 divs. 3 divs from the design. This is one div, this is another div, this is another div. So I'll have a div, then I would have another div. Oh, sorry. Then I'll have another div, then the last div. Then in the first div, I'm going to have an image, which is the icon. An image. Then H3, then P tag. Then P tag. Equally to the other one. So I can just copy this, paste there, come here, paste this here. Then the first icon is actually like the note. So I'll say this slash icon. Okay, logo. It's actually logo. Is it vector graphics? Let me check. Logo, what's this one? This one is eyes. So let me just put on that eyes. It's not logo actually. It's not logo. Does anyone have eyes there? I think it should be this text. But let me check that first before I proceed. No, it's not the text, it's not the, this is for the second one. This is for the second one. So maybe icon preview. Let me see. That's for the third one.
Maybe blacklist.
There's a blacklist.
Blacklist. Okay. Why would they just use blacklist for something like that? Does that mean anything that is like a notice blacklist? Wow. So this blacklist. Wow, okay. Something that's looking like a scroll. Okay, so the next thing is actually to pick out the text on it. So this. The first, then this, which is the inner content, then this. So like I said, when you draw all these boxes out, it's now easier for you. Defaultly, you would not have to start racking how you want to style, how you want to do your text. So because you've done all of the background stuff, and you know that what is just left for you to do is just style, and it's minimal styling, because some of the works have already been done at the top. If you know what your P tags are, just type one uniform P tag. If you know what the H3 is, if you know you are using H3 on different places, just use that. I don't think I've seen any site that are going to be using different P tags. That's paragraphs, different sections. So let's see what we have. So we have this. Now, To move all these things to make them in a row way, what do I need to do? Can somebody tell me?
You are going to
You target the section and write display as display flex.
Great, thank you very much. Abel is not on the call today. Display flex. Great. You can see now it's display flex. But one other thing that is there is that now if you look at the design, it's not here that like they need spacing here, I need spacing here. In the last class, I taught you guys one thing that you should always use. If you need to put something in the center like this, I want somebody that can actually recall for us what I said.
Margin auto.
Width auto.
You said we should give it a width of 100%, then margin up to bring it to the center.
Okay.
Not a width of 100% actually. I said you should give it a width, then give it a margin auto. So give the width that you know that is actually taking the form of the spacing. So for example, I can say this is actually 70%. Then margin auto, which should actually say left and right, give it same equal spacing. And that brought this to this like this, which is almost what we need. But one other thing is still missing. I need to make all my things to be in the center. What's the act to make that? Align item center. Let's see. Why is this stuff being this way? So text.
item.
Text align center. So that will actually bring it to the center for me. But still, they're not equally they're not looking equal. And again, I need spacing at this point, spacing at this point, and it's not still that way. So one of the best way, I like doing, I always want to style my stuff. So I can say, let me see something. Specify content. It's not actually going to give it a spacing. So what I can do is, I think this is actually also too much. Let me reduce this to 80. Then I can add a padding left or actually use a width to actually constrain these ones so that they can be uniform. So I have to use the uniform stuff and give them a what is it called? A uniform width, or equally leave it almost like this since the spacing is just very minute. But the issue about this is when it starts closing, it starts joining together. So to avoid this, what I just need to do is set a padding to them. So I need to target this and this and this. So I'll just come here and now I can give a class of saying, let me just say blacklist. Same class I'm going to give to the three of them. Then I come here, then I tag dot blacklists. Oh, we've actually spent a lot of time. I think after this, we just work on the responsiveness. Then I say width of 80%, 90 actually, 90%. That's more spacing there. So that's what 90% has done for me, which is actually good on what I wanted to do.
Sorry, why is it that this blacklist and the plain text are not on the same line?
So to make
this
that
one
actually
is square.
That one is actually short, Abby. It's because of the way the images are.
Yeah.
So to do that, to put them on the same line, what I can do is use align items center. So align item center would actually bring them to the same line. I can see. You can see, right?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Pressure, what do you use to set it to the center?
Align items.
Okay.
Defaultly, I usually use justify, but I don't know what's happening today. Okay. Good. So that means we've done this now. And what is just left is this image. Then we know that we should repeat this part at the top. Or let me just repeat the part at the top so that we know that we are done. Then what is left is actually to do the mobile responsiveness. So I pick this to this side. I remove the image. I change this last one to H2. Then I change, what is it called, first section. Instead of first section, I call on, what is it called? This other one, second section. Because of the background and the image kind of thing. Then I change the text also. Clipboard, which is this to this. Then I also change this. Then great, we've add this now, which is like the last part of which is this. Which is like this one. Although the which is like for this other one is different. But let's leave it that way. Let's leave it. Okay. Yeah. So the next thing I need to actually do now is mobile responsiveness. So automatically, it's more like we have done the what is it called, the big part of it. Then now to fix the mobile responsiveness, let's come back to this mobile. Let's see what they have for us. Then now, and this is actually going to be the same, but I know that the font size is now looking smaller. REM will have helped me, but I don't want us to start using REM at this point. So what I need to do is do my media query, which is and media and bracket max width dash 600 pixel. Great. So the first thing I'll target is for my mobile. Coming back
The width
here.
is not correct, the spelling.
Thank you very
You
much.
omitted D.
Thank you. Thank you. So coming back here, with this 600 pixel, let me come and change my own stuff here to like this. Now it's not looking okay at all. It's very ugly. So now for me to actually make it to start looking okay, first thing I need to do is come back to this my design. First thing first, tag my Toby. Come here. Look for first section. Come down here. Call the first section. What style did I give it here at the beginning? Let me open this to the left. Actually, to the right, not left. To the right. First section. At this point, I gave it all of these. Yes, correct. Then padding top. I noticed that the padding top at this point should not be up to that. So I'll reduce the padding top. I can give it a padding top of, let's say, instead of 100, I can say 80. Let's say if we want to give it an 80, that should reduce what is at the top for me. Actually, it should actually still be on the 120. So let me leave it at the 120. Yeah, 120 is actually very fine. Then one thing I need to also do, yeah, I don't have any issue with this first this thing that I called. So what I need to actually start is one, the H1. Coming back to my H1, what I need to do is one, target the font size that I'm using. Change the font size to make it smaller. Let's say 30 pixel. Start with 30 is actually not okay. It's too big. So let me inspect from here so that I don't start changing. Oh, H1. I put dots. So this is it, 30 pixel. So let me just reduce it. Yeah, 27 is okay. 27. Then I also noticed that it's not in the center. To make it in the center, what I just need to properly just put text aligned center, which has brought it to the center, which is what we have here. Although looks like this 27 is it too small? Not too small actually. The reason why it's not the way their own is because they're using this 375. 375 at least it brings you to be more reduced. But that's not what I'm using. I'm using for like normal like iPhone kind of screen.
What about if we give it a width so that it will just be stable? Whether it's 600, whether it's
The
365.
issue about that is if I give it a width,
Yes.
if I give it each one, let me show you. Let me say a width of give me a suggestion, a width of what?
Let me say, okay, 40%. I don't know what is there. I wanted to say we should do that, this thing, inspect and be changing it and see whether the one that will be okay. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you too.
Okay, thank
Maybe it's
you.
better.
I mean, we don't finish assignment.
Me, I never finished that. I never able to start. But there's something I noticed when I downloaded their starter code. My own is always zipped. I don't know how to. I don't know how do they unzip. How will they? It's not showing.
You extract them. Extract it.
You
Just
have to
like
extract it.
right click, you see extract on your.
Hello.
Okay, welcome back.
Bego, please make me host back. My network is actually kind of timed, so it exhausted me that I've used what I'm supposed to use for the day.
Ledogo, you are the host. So kindly make him the host, please.
Okay, Adama don't show.
I've been away. I just came like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, you're the host now.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. Coming back. So I was asking, give me a suggestion for the width that you want me to use.
So I was saying that we should do that inspect like the way we used to do it, so that we'll be seeing it. So
okay.
I will not instead of going back and forth.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't think we should actually use a width. One of the issues about using width on this is that it's not always very okay when you're trying to like resize, because some people are actually using phone like this small. I don't know if you get.
Okay.
This is actually a very small phone. I think is it this one? I have one phone that is always like 320, 325.
So if we use the width, does it mean that, because I was thinking, so any size that you put it, it will just be the same thing. That's what I wanted, but you said there's a problem with it.
Yeah, if I use the width, majorly, the width I would want to use is actually a pixel width, right?
Yes.
So if I use a width of, let's say, give me one, 50 pixel.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's say
That one is
200. So, if I change it to, let me say,
that one is
300,
uh,
even though this is okay,
uh-huh.
there are
Yes.
some people that are very, I'm not saying they're wicked, but
Uh,
they can go to the extreme. So actually say, let me see if your site is responsive, and they go like this. Even though it's not, like, you understand? The issue about that is when I come like this, you get, it shrinks. Although 300 makes sense, it gave us what we needed, like
yeah.
on this kind of screen.
Yes.
But the issue now is when you're trying to recite, doing your responsiveness and making it look okay, then you start seeing that, oh, there are more spacing that shouldn't be. Do you get?
Okay.
Yeah. Alternatively, what you can do is just percentage. So 90%. So let's say still the same thing, but percentage is still okay than using a pixel width. So this is the screen they advise us to use. So 80% will still work. So let me just use that as advised. So 80%, width of 80%. Let me look that. Then the next thing is actually this one. Then if I should inspect, the issue with this is there is actually a width of 80% or 40%. So I need to go and change it and say, when you are here, when you are this screen size, don't give me an 80% width. So give me a width of 100%. And let's see. So this 100%, which is nice. Now, automatically, this one would actually shrink to the side, like it will bend by itself because it's actually display flex. Takes the available property instead of it floating. That's why it's good to use display flex most times. Then now, to make this actually give the spacing and put it to the center, one thing I need to do is come here, from the div that is handling the button. All I just need to do is
I don't know if this is a fair question to ask, but I'm sorry for coming late and asking. This terminal that you are using to this inspect place, how?
Yeah.
I don't know how to use this particular place to be doing these modifications.
Okay, I still promise the class on this, which I don't know. It has not been fixed. I don't know either if it's going to be fixed yet, because inspect is actually a key thing that you should use. So it might be, maybe you guys can make it as a request. Okay. So to put this down, what I need to do is come and style the div that is holding that boxes. So and give it a text align stuff. So that's this div. So I need to put a div class buttons. Come down here, then do this, then say text align center. That should move it. Then I also know that I added what is it called? Yeah, previously. I added a kind of margin. Yeah. In this iOS, I added a margin. That is right. And it's having an issue showing the .v. Then I can remove the margin and say margin right, 0. But now I want to give it a margin bottom of, let's say, maybe 10. Oh, then this one, I need to add a display flex. display flex direction column so that it can stack over each other, which is this. Automatically on a mobile using this code. Display flex makes it that's the normal property it took. Then the flex direction column made them go this way. Then the margin right also remove the spacing that we had in the desktop part. That's like this spacing that made this in middle side that way. Then I need to move this to the center. So automatically what I can just do is I can do this. H2. Don't let me do that because it might have an effect. Let me see if it will have an effect. Okay, it won't actually. So I can actually make them all in the center. So what I just need to do is H2, H3. Then I can say text align center, which is good. So I need to start my H2 also to reduce the font. So H2, I can give it a 25 pixel font size, 25 pixel. Great. Then this other one, I also need to add in this section itself needs, even the P, actually the P needs to have, what is it called? The section itself for mobile, every section needs spacing. What is that? So I can just come down here and I can say my section, I can call, let me just call section. Since I'm doing this on mobile and I want every section to have that style. So I can call the section. If you don't understand this part, please let me know what is happening here. Width of 90% and a margin auto. Now the spacing in everything. Everything would have a space. The spacing on everything, unlike the way it was before. That's an easy act. So now the next part I want to touch is now this part. To do this, now I need to go and target this fourth section. I added the display flex here on this fourth section. Then I need to do a property called flex direction. Just need to add flex direction on this, then give it a column which says split it to the up and down. So which way what we have on this. Then great. Then going back to my design, I would also notice that all of these are still also in the center. All these are in the center, unlike this, and they don't have these big spaces like this. So all I need to target is come back to my style, come here, inspect them the easy way, so that we don't go back and forth, is to come and look for the quick section. I gave the quick section a 70. Then let me see what it should look like. It should look like a 90. So quick section, I need to change the width. Width of 90%. Then I also know that all of these texts are in the center. So what I can just do is just say something called text align center, which will bring them to the center. Good. Then all of this is okay. Then the next part I need to touch is this one. So all I need to do is come back here, look for this, the P of what is it called? This super change. I don't know what's happening there. So let me just check it out. Wow, this is actually skewed to the left more. So this is actually happening because of, did I add a width here somewhere? Okay, there's a margin here that is 0 on the third. So now I need to go and change this third to margin auto, the third. I need to do dot this, then, which is just to remove this spacing. That's why I said inspect is very okay. Inspect is very strict, and it makes your work very easy to do. So with this should actually bring it to be okay. Then I know that the next thing I need to check is on this one. And to fix this is also very, 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 very fast. Then I need to just go and target my 5th section from what I can see here and give it a flex direction column. So I do this. Flex direction column, which is great, which is this, but there are more spacing here. So I need to go and check why there are more spacing there. And I need to like inspect to see why there are more spacing. So I noticed that the blacklist is having a 90%. So I need to change that blacklist. On mobile, the blacklist should take a width of 100%. A width of 100%. Then I'm left with this part actually. All I just need to do is, I noticed that here I added, in this my button here, I added the class of buttons. I just need to go and replicate that and add to the bottom one. To say this div should have this. Then that's the end of this style. And you can see. So you can see that to style the mobile is easier. 1, with this debugger. 2, if you have been able to like get your beginning part, your style right, and even so, it also make sure that if you've done a lot, I did not call a lot of things that like I call them desktop parts. I only call the width, majorly I was focused on the width and the font and maybe flex direction column. Aside that, I did not do a real big change. So I know that a lot of people would also still have questions and maybe confusion or something, but please shoot your questions.
Okay, I wanted to ask, like, if you are building, is it compulsory that you
Hello,
must?
please, in case, can you please go to that inspection page?
Where?
I
Hello,
think
Well,
someone was talking. Someone was talking and you interrupted her. Let her finish first.
okay, thank you.
Okay,
So the person
thank
I was
you.
hello.
yeah.
I
Okay,
was the one talking.
no, I
Can
was
you please
talking
go to
before.
the
So somebody was
inspection
talking.
part?
Somebody was
Someone
talking.
Okay, no
talking.
problem.
Or should
Go
we
first.
raise our hands? It will be
Yeah, I think
better,
raising of hand will be best. So raise your
so
hand.
that you pick the
Yeah.
person. Okay.
You can
So
call.
moving forward, now we'll raise our hands. So what I
Yeah.
was asking was, from previous class, I noticed that when you were building, you
Yeah.
built the desktop first, and we now did the mobile. And I noticed that there was no problem. It's okay. But what they told me before, they said you have to build the mobile first before you now build the desktop. So I just want to know, is it that it doesn't really matter any one you do, or which
It
one is
doesn't really
easier?
matter.
Okay.
What is most dependent is know how you can actually build faster. If you are faster in building from mobile, good. If you feel you are faster building, you can see you spend like 2 hours doing desktop. But on a mobile, very less minutes because all the styles are already there.
Okay.
So it depends. It depends.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. My friend, you can continue.
Okay, I think that's Candy Falsat.
Okay. So please, can you go to that inspection page?
Okay.
Assuming we have lower width, here we are using 320. Maybe we have
Yeah.
2 something. Will it still be arranged in this manner too?
Yes, now.
No, as in change this width to something. Let me see how it will look like.
This is at 100, 100. Aside this text that is actually just large. Oh, that person that is trying to draw. Yeah, okay. You're trying to show me that this is the width. See the width. This is the height.
Okay.
155.
See.
It's
Okay.
307. So it's still going to be responsive.
Thank
Is
you.
this everything that's making it look as if it's overflowing? But
That
defaultly,
means if we
without
are
everything,
to work. Okay, sorry. If we are to work with mobile, what width will you advise
your
us to
mobile
work
should
with
start from
strategically?
600. Your mobile styles should actually start from 600. Tablet is more than above 600 to like 1000 something. I think 1024. So that's tablet. But the best way to actually fix it is when you fix it on 425. That's the last one I said.
Okay, thank you.
That's yeah. Okay. Or alternatively, you can come here on Chrome, pick your phone. Pick a phone and use it to style. Check other phones. And as you can see, this is iPhone 14. And it still looks okay on iPhone 14. On Pixel 7, still looks okay, no real change. On Samsung Galaxy Ultra, still they look the same. On an XR phone, it's still okay. On iPad, that was actually tablet. Not very okay. Still looks okay on a tablet. It still looks okay. Still responsive. On big tablet, still looks okay. On this also, still okay. That's the work of responsiveness and styling. Okay, so let me pick the next person. That's I think Adama was the next person, or Zilawa. I think Adama was the next person. Yeah, please, Adama, please, you can go, please. No, not Adama.
Okay. Then who now?
Adama, you want to ask a question? Your answer have actually been helped ever since. So sorry, please.
Yes, so
Adama.
the question I've been waiting for the right time to ask, and the question is on how to get a particular kind of font, and then the kind of styling on that I did not understand.
Font,
like
you mean font family?
Yeah, so that is digital.
Font family, one of the places to get font family is fonts.google.com.
Yes, but there are some kind of fonts that I couldn't find there, and this font.
Yeah, then you download them and import them.
So how do I do such, and then such that it will also be imported on this in that way? How do I do that?
You put that file inside. Then there's a way you actually call them. You route them together in the way that you call.
That's what you will be teaching me now, sir.
Huh?
I said that is what you will be teaching me now, sir.
We can't actually do that in this class, actually, because it's actually, I'm not saying it's a long process, but it's something that, because I'll show you. So import font family. So actually put premium, because you import, you first of all download the file, then you import it, then you call it premium font CSS. So you download the file first, you embed it, so you download the font, then you create a web key that's like a class in your, what is it called? Yeah, your style. After importing it, you create another family that's called like something like fonts. Then call it, so upload the font files done. So then you can use it. So it has to be inside your file, inside your directory. That's the only way you can call it.
Just put the syntax or it as if you want to call in the listen. That's just what I want to say.
Every font has, maybe I think one has TTL, there are different ones. So TTL or something. They're different. So not Google. So download fonts. Yeah, so TTF, Wolf, these are actually the what is it called, depending on what you downloaded. So this is how you call them, like, but you call them normally, but in that your style part, this is how you call them. You style them first. So, and you use this also. So when you're calling them, font face, inside that import file that you are putting, that's the file that you need. Don't worry, one of the things I'll be going through React, maybe one of the things that will take in React when we get there, I'll look for a way to dedicate the time that we can go through fonts. Please remind me during that time. Is that good?
Okay.
Because that's based on how we can actually use it. Because using it on the normal CSS won't really, no, it's actually a very longer process. Okay. So let me go on to the next person. Chidima. Is it okay, Lawal actually, Lawal.
Okay, all right. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good
Please,
evening.
in styling for mobile, do I have to create a new CSS file or can I use the previous? Because I can see two different CSS files on your screen right now.
There's actually one CSS file. One is m.md style.guy.md.
Oh, okay.
There's one CSS file. What I just did is media query. Media.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I get it now. Okay, all right. That's my question. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Can I go now?
Yeah.
Okay, please go to it. How do you make it to be horizontal? Like your screen is up, your code is down. Like where will you click?
Like, you mean this?
Your inspect. Yes,
You
yes.
click on this
So,
three things, then you can select how you want it to be. You come here.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So let me go to the next question. Jules 22. Before I do that, let me tell you a story. When I started building, one of the things I did not know then, I created 3 different components just to achieve this footer. That was far back, I think around 2019, 2020. Just to achieve this footer. Oh, sorry. I spent like a couple of I don't say, we actually built it. I used 3 components, styled components to actually style this. So I'll tell you that don't do it by that way. So we use one component, use your media query. Media query can be very difficult sometimes when you're starting. But don't worry. As time goes on, you will get it. Okay, so let me just go to the first question. That's from Julius. Yeah.
Good evening. Please,
yeah, good evening.
I want to know I don't know how to start my assignment. The questions are not clear. And, they said we should click on a page, we should do a 2-column, whatever. So I'm a bit confused on how to start. I don't really understand, to be honest.
You did that assignment that is ending tonight, or which of the assignments?
No, the new one.
That's when I have to be the page.
Pardon?
When you have to be the page. Am I correct?
Yes, the flow frontal something. I've read the question over and over again, but I don't understand. Even when you click on that page, the new page, what are you supposed to do on that page when you get to the page? There's a place like you need to register. It has like CSS, it has HTML. Are you supposed to register? It's just a little bit confusing. So I don't even know how to start because I don't know what to do first.
Okay, let me just go back to that site. Everybody can open it. So what they expect you to actually do is download. Let me see if I can get that question.
Please clear the red circle up there.
I don't even add it. Please, if you can let me clean it, I'll be glad. And somebody let me clean it. I think this is the assignment. Where is it? Okay, no, not this one. Yeah, this should be the assignment.
Okay, yes, when you get to this page, what are you supposed to do here?
So what you're supposed to do is first start challenge.
Okay.
You have a GitHub. So it will prompt you to actually log in with your GitHub. So you have to actually put your GitHub. Once you put your GitHub, then you can download Starter. Once you put your GitHub, it allows you to download this Starter. This thing. which is actually downloading for me already. Now it's downloading. Then on downloading,
Yes.
on downloading, you extract it. Let's just finish downloading. How big is it? I mean,
That extract, I don't know.
that extract.
Can I explain this?
I don't know it.
What are you using? Are you using Windows?
Yes.
Yes, I'm using Windows.
I think I might need to
What?
download and I'll find it.
Extract on my Mac. What I do is I just double click, so automatically it extracts for me.
Is it the same thing for Windows?
Windows, you just have to I don't know if you have Win something. I've got WinRAR.
You got to download WinRAR. Download WinRAR.
Download WinRAR.
I would advise you, if WinRAR is getting complicated, you can just download the PC. Or you just right click on it and look for where you extract content.
Extract here around this side, extract here. Then see how you can extract. On opening it,
Okay, I should right click it and I will see
Yeah.
extract.
Yes.
No. Open the zip folder, double click to open it. Then when you open it, at the top there, you will see a place where there is an extract. The place where you need to see view and other things at the top of your window there. You will now see where there is extract, then you follow that process.
After the extract, what else do you do?
That's all. You pick it up and you go and put it in your VS Code. What I used to do, what I usually do, is once I've opened it up, I just drag it and drop in my VS Code.
Okay, on
Drag it like that and I drop.
that, right?
Yeah. I just drag the entire file and I drop it, then it opens up. I don't want to drag this to close this one.
Me, I don't know how to drag and drop, but can I open folder?
Yeah, I can open folder.
Yeah, okay, I know that one.
The open folder drop in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next question. Let me go to catering.
Is that all? Is that all we need to do? I thought
that's
you
all. When you do that, then you start
afterwards.
After you've extracted and your code is ready, you start writing your code. You start writing. Start designing.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're on design, you see desktop design, you see mobile design, you design.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, so the next person is Ketchup.
Okay. Good evening.
Yeah.
So please, can you go back to the page again? The sorry, the assignment page. I didn't get what you said at the start. When we open the page, what we should do first, please.
That's this one.
Yes, just go back to the when you want to enter the page first. What should you do first?
The link was sent. The link was actually fully sent. But me, I'm just, when I come here, I just look for, what is it called?
So you don't need to have an account with front-end mentors before this thing will open?
No. Okay. All you need to do is authenticate to GitHub. It will tell you authenticate to GitHub, but it looks like I've already started this challenge. That's me, but you authenticate to GitHub. So is that great?
No, are you saying once I click on the page, I'm going to the Visit Challenge Hub, or what am I doing first? I'm not getting that part.
You go to challenge part. The link exactly is there already. So you just click on this button that's already around there. The link has been sent to you directly. You don't need to come to challenge or anything. You land on this page where you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then sorry for the when we extract the pages into the file, are we designing for mobile separately and then
Designing everything on one thing, just like the way we did this one. Our mobile.
Okay, then is the media query. The media query we are doing first for mobile before the this website or desktop.
The desktop. Do the one that you do any way you want to actually fix it. So if you want to do mobile, good. If you want to do desktop, fine, okay.
Okay, so sorry. Please, once we do the media, if we want to start with sorry, with mobile, once you finish the styling, doing the media query for mobile, it fits in that it fits in automatically into desktop, any desktop
No, you start
interface.
your desktop separately because the way you actually close display, flex, roll, that's style it separately. So that's it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So they
Good evening.
um
Good evening.
good evening.
Oh yeah. I'm having like 2 or 3 questions too. So
Okay.
the first one is about the media query. The screen size. Can we because you wrote max width, so can we say max width from 600 to 750, or we can just give it a fixed max width?
What this actually marks it actually, you can give it a fixed max width also. But what this max width does is actually say from 0 to the maximum of 600.
Okay.
That's what it says. So if you are giving it a fixed max width, I'm just saying maybe mean width dash what's it called? Dash max width, like, and max width. You're saying from this section to this section. That's what the style is covering for.
Okay. And about the assignment, I just want to know what is the design like. Maybe you are like you want to design another section, but it's overflowing to the second section. Like maybe the design is like a curve shape on the second design is like a curve shape on the, like, what attributes can we use for that in CSS?
I'm not trying, I'm not getting that though, but let me open up something. I'm to open up something very quick. Let me close this. Just bring this down here. Okay, so you have this.
Okay, the first section is having a white color, while the other one is having like a crayon or gray color. The second one, no, not the. I mean the body. The first one to this section is having a white color, and the other one is having another color. So if you now want to make this the white to overflow to the second section and the second section to overflow to the first section, how can you do that?
You want this one to overflow to this and this one to overflow to this.
No, not that one. Like the get early access to the, yes,
okay.
This other one, the upper one also. The with
You want
the
this to overflow or
yes,
overflowing.
like just to make it curve, like just to make it like a curve. So this one, the white one would come downwards a little bit, while this one will go upwards. One side will go down, one side will go up.
Okay, something like maybe you are trying to draw a shape and you are trying to say, oh, I don't
Like
know,
a wave.
like
Okay.
a wave.
Okay, if you look at the first two, if you look at this background color, the second one, the background color, look at the color, you can see it's having like a curve shape.
Yeah.
Yes. So how can you do that on?
Let me give you guys one secret to do that. I've showed you before, and that's why I intentionally gave you this assignment. I've showed you before. If those people who join, what is it called? The CSS, this thing, the CSS class. If you watch the video, I went through this site. I showed you what clipart generator is. Then one of the way you can actually do it is actually clip paths. Clip path generator. So there are a lot of them though. So the one that is depending that you want to use this clip path generator. It gives you the CSS that you can add on how to actually make some word curves, even waves. So for example, you have this. Let me see if this would work for me. Okay, not this actually. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Let it just load up. This is actually taking a lot of while to load. I think this is the last question actually. So I won't be taking any more questions after this. Okay, this is faster. So now, to do this, one of the best ways you can actually do this is you want to use the circle elements.
So is it just me? I can't seem to hear Toby.
Exactly. I wanted to say thank you for asking. Okay, it's not only me. How did you do it?
Huh? Whatever you have here. It will give you, I'm just telling you, don't code it. One easy app, but you can actually also code it also. It will give you a CSS. Well, I don't know why that's not actually showing. It will give you the CSS to this. Oh. Let me check. I've forgotten the normal clip art I usually use. I call it.
What's the end?
I think he went offline.
It's nothing. Voila. Oh.
Sorry, my network out again. So I think that's just all though. So I think we can actually end the class now.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good night, though.
Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
night,
Good night.
I don't see her.
Class outside Candy, please.
I should give you the
Yeah.
How am I to do it? I don't know how to do it.
Just end the class.
Okay. I will. Thank you.